Unlike Democrats, Republicans say they are unified behind Donald Trump and motivated after a successful GOP convention.
Yeah, the former president accepted the party's nomination last night in a speech that began with a softer tone and calls for unity, but then changed course as he wandered off script and attacked President Biden and Democrats. Many of the claims he made not supported by facts. Fox 4's Sean Rabb in studio with that. Sean.
Yeah, Trumpian exaggerations. That's how Washington Post fact checker Glenn Kessler describes claims often made by the former president. Many of them he made when he ran the first time for the White House back in 2016. But he sells it well, and his base buys in.
These are things that Donald Trump says all the time, and they're just not factually correct.
Washington Post reporter Glenn Kessler has worked fact-check for the Post since 2011.
We had the most secure border and best economy in the history of our country, in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world.
To say it was the greatest economy in the history of the U.S. is absurd. To say it was the greatest in the world is even more absurd.
His Friday Washington Post analysis of former President Trump's speech Thursday night marked at least 34 statements not factually correct.
We have an inflation crisis that is making life unaffordable, ravaging the incomes of working and low-income families, and just simply crushing our people like never before.
Inflation did spike to 9% in 2022, coming out of pandemic, coupled with supply chain shortages, but now back down to around 3%.
If you were listening to the RNC, you would think right now we were in a massive recession rather than historically low unemployment and pretty solid economic growth and a stock market that has just reached a record high.
Trump said millions of illegal immigrants have come into the country in the past 4 years. True, more than 5.6 million.
We have to stop the invasion into our country that's killing hundreds of thousands of people a year. We're not going to let that happen.
That part, not true. SMU political science professor Cal Gilson.
He says crime is up. In fact, it's not up. It's down quite sharply over the last year.
And most studies have found that there's not much difference in terms of crime rates between undocumented immigrants and regular immigrants. And in fact, overall, immigrants tend to have lower crime rates than natural-born Americans.
These things that Donald Trump says, that those of us who look at him find not to be true, still are useful to him in consolidating his base.
He echoes what his supporters believe, so even though it's false, they believe it sounds like the truth because they already believe it. And that's part of his secret sauce.
And a couple other facts about Mr. Trump's acceptance speech: 93 minutes, the longest in modern history by either major political party, watched by more than 20 million people.